I'm Jordan Rayner, and this is the Word Before Work. Today we're reading from John 1:14. Here's what it says. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. I ended the last devotional with a question. If the gospel compels us to redeem our time, see Ephesians 5:16, where can we look for practical wisdom as to how to manage our time well? That question brings us to the fifth and final truth of this devotional series. By studying the life of Christ, we can know how God would manage his time. I know, this is a wild idea, so give me a couple of minutes to unpack it. John 1:14, which we just read, tells us that God, the author of time, became flesh in the person of Jesus Christ. During his time on earth, Jesus was 100% God and 100% man, meaning that he experienced the same day-to-day challenges as other mortals. He had a business to run, a mother and father to care for, hunger to manage, and the need for sleep. Oh yeah, and he faced the same 24-hour time constraint as every other human being. Okay, Jordan, Jesus had a finite amount of time on earth, but come on, surely the demands on Jesus' time can't compare to what we experience today, can they? I would argue absolutely they can. Pastor Kevin DeYoung agrees. He says, quote, if Jesus were alive today, he'd get more emails than any of us. He'd have people calling his cell phone all the time. Jesus did not float above the fray, untouched by the pressures of normal human existence, end quote. Pastor DeYoung's words bring to mind Hebrews 4:15, which says that we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses. In the person of Jesus, the Word became flesh, ensuring that he could empathize with all of our weaknesses, including our efforts to steward 24 hours each and every day. Okay, Jordan, sure, Jesus had to deal with this, but come on, did the Gospels really have anything to say about how Jesus spent his time on earth? Now we're getting somewhere. Yes, they do quite a bit, but in order to see it, we've got to adjust the lens through which we read the Gospels. Pastor John Mark Comer, in his terrific book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, has written about how we modern Christians read the Gospels almost exclusively for their theology and their ethics. He says, quote, we read the Gospels as cute sermon illustrations or allegorical pick-me-ups or theological goldmines. Not bad, but we often miss the proverbial forest for the trees. The Gospels are biographies, end quote. And what do biographies show us? They show us the lifestyle and the habits of their subjects. The gospel biographies are our opportunity to see not just what Jesus said or what he did, but how he walked, so that we can walk through life and manage our time the way that he did in the first century. Okay, then the question becomes, how did Jesus walk? How did he manage his time? That's the question we'll explore at length in the next series here on the Word Before Work, which kicks off next Monday. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Today's devotional only scratches the surface of how God's Word connects to our work. If you want to go deeper, sign up for my free 20-day devotional called The Word Before Work Foundations at twbwfoundations.com. These email devotionals are designed to help you gain a rich understanding of the biblical narrative of work, how exactly your work matters for eternity, and what those truths mean for how we ought to work today, You can sign up right now, again, for free at twbwfoundations.com.